Hello guys, welcome back, and I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. So today we continue with our ongoing repertory exam revision series with our third video, which is the TPB Therapeutic Pocketbook. We previously covered the Kent's repertory and the BBC repertory, and now we move on to TPB. But before starting the video, I would like to make a general announcement that we do not endorse any type of shortcut methods of study. This video which we make is usually you study it while before starting your studies for the repertory, or in the end while you are revising for exams. But in between you can always refer your textbooks, your college professors, your lectures, your teachers, and your lecture notes, and try to make notes better. If possible, make it yourself, but use this video as an revision tool or a tool to begin with, right? And notes can differ from person to person. We do not say that this is the only notes and this is the only way you should write in your exams, but this can of course aid you a lot in your level of preparations and your method of studying, right? This, the points which we have covered, is must to be written, is to be written in exams as it is. The points like the full name of the repertory, author, publication year, this is the basic performer of all repertories to be written, right? So you can always study and upgrade yourself better, but we do not endorse this shortcut method of just watching this video and getting done with things. Please study in depth from your textbooks, from other sources, and use these videos as a revision tool, because of course in repertory, as you can see, there isn't much to be explained because it's just a reading and reading subject, which can, the more you read, the more you revise, the better you remember, like the years, the data, the chapters. So without much ado, we begin with the main TPB. So the full name of the repertory is Therapeutic Pocketbook for Homeopathic Physicians to use at the bedside and in the study of Materia Medica. Author is Dr. Bonninghausen. Publication year with edition. The first edition was published in the year 1846. It can come as an MCQ. Introduction. After recovered from a serious derangement of health in 1828, Bonninghausen developed a firm belief in the homeopathic system of treatment. His logical mind was fully convinced about the results obtained by the application of the principles of similia. He tried to know more and more about homeopathy. Soon he came in contact with Hahnemann himself in the year 1830. At that time, there was a demand for discovering a device to index the ever enlarging materia medica. He published his first repertory in 1832, Repertory of the Antisodic Remedies, with a preface by Dr. Hahnemann. Second repertory published in 1835, Repertory of the Medicines which are not antisoric. In 1836, he published Attempt at showing the relative kinship of homeopathic medicine. Lastly, after 10 years of clinical experience, he published the Therapeutic Pocketbook in the year 1846. The work became instantaneously popular and proved useful. Hahnemann himself used Bonninghausen's repertory in his practice and preferred it to Jar's complication. The book, written in German, was first translated into English by an anonymous person, but the translation was faulty. Allen's edited translation is the most valuable edition of this work. Allen's. Allen dropped out 4 remedies and added some 220 remedies to original 126 remedies, so that the number appearing in the Allen's edition is 342. 342 in the Allen's edition and basically 126 in Dr. Bonninghausen's edition. Allen also rearranged the book. In 1935, Dr. H.A. Roberts brought out a new edition of BTPB with a few minor changes. Dr. G.H. Clark says TPB is, in a sense, the parent of all repertories and analysis of the materia medica. Now let us look into the philosophical background of the TPB. Bonninghausen realized many difficulties with regard to symptoms. He emphasized more on completing the symptoms with all their components, that is, location, sensation, modalities, and concomitants, LSMC. Bonninghausen's attempt was to complete the symptom, but in a practice he found it difficult to do so. Therefore, he evolved the concept that what is true to the part is also true to the whole. This statement is very, very, very important. You can star mark it, and let us repeat it again once again. Therefore, he evolved the concept that what is true to the part is also true to the whole. The following fundamental concepts form from the bedrock of his TPB are doctrine of analogy, doctrine of concomitant, evaluation of remedies, and concordance. Now let us look into the detail of these different doctrines. Doctrine of analogy. Boningoson's analytical mind came to the conclusion that to complete the symptom, the local modalities and sensations pertaining to one part should also be applied to the other parts. This principle is also called the doctrine of grand generalization. Very, very, very important. Doctrine of grand generalization. He considered sickness an expression of the whole man and not of the part. Thus, all the modalities which are noticed in one part but missing in any other part should be taken as an expression of the whole person. Doctrine of concomitance. He emphasized that in all cases, such group of symptoms exist and they are missed totally because of inadequate observation. Master Hahnemann had also stated the importance of the striking, singular, rare, and characteristic symptoms (PQRS) symptoms, which Bonnigosen described as concomitant symptoms. Evaluation of the remedies. Bonnigosen was the first to grade the remedies. Many drugs produce the same type of symptoms, but he noticed a difference in the frequency and intensity in the appearance of symptoms. He indicated in terms of 5 ranks by the use of different typography in his repertory as follows. The capital denoted 5 marks, it is the first grade. Bold 4 marks, second grade. Italics 3 marks, the third grade. Roman 2 marks, the fourth grade. And Roman in parenthesis, which is the bracket, is 1 mark, the fifth grade. Concordances. Bonninghausen noticed that a relationship existed among the medicine. He incorporated a chapter on this subject in his TPB towards the end. In the earlier edition of the book, he referred to this chapter as Concordance of Remedies, but Allen gave it a more comprehensible title, Relationship of Remedies. Source book of TPB. First is Repertory of Antisoric Medicines in 1832, An Attempt at Homeopathic Therapy of Intermittent Fever 1833, Repertory of Medicines Which Are Not Antisoric 1835, Relative Kinship of Homeopathic Medicines 1836. Now let us look into the plan and construction of TPB. The plan and construction of TPB has been conceived in such a way as to make it highly facile in practical use. The whole book can be divided into 3 components: location, sensation, and modalities. However, concomitants are found scattered. The book has the following structure. The first, the first part contains mind and intellect. The second part contains the parts of the bodies. They include head, internal and external; eye, vision; ears, hearing; nose, smell; face, teeth; mouth, throat; hunger and thirst; taste, eructations, nausea and vomiting; abdomen, internal, external; flatulence, stool; urinary organs, urine; micturition; sexual organs, menstruation; leukorrhea; respiration; cough; air passages, external throat and neck; chest, internal and external; back; upper extremities, lower extremities. And the third part contains sensations and complaints. Sensation in general, gland, bones, and skin. The fourth part contains sleep and dream. The fifth part contains the fever. In that too, we have circulation, chill, heat, coldness, shivering, sweat, compound fever, and concomitant. The sixth part contains modalities, in which we have aggravation and amelioration. And the seventh part contains the relationship of remedies. Now, let us look into the adaptability of TPB. From the philosophy and construction of TPB, it is obvious that the book can be used for the repertorization of the following types of cases: a case with complete symptoms, cases with prominent sensation and modalities in some part but vague in other part, cases with prominent concomitants, cases with paucity of symptoms with scattered modality and no characteristics, case where generals are lacking. It is also useful to get related remedies by working on the last chapter. And method of repertorization. The following are 2 methods of working out a case with the help of BTPB. Robert's method. After taking the case, the physician categorizes the important and relevant data under 4 heads: location, sensation, modalities, and concomitant. The analysis and clarification of symptoms under these 4 heads would help the physician to utilize the TPB. Rubrics can be arranged in the following order: location, sensation, condition of aggravation and amelioration, and concomitant. The second part, the second method to solve, that is the modern method. Robert's method is time consuming and complex for a practitioner to use it. Dr. M.L. Dhawle has modified the method without compromising with the principle and result by rearranging the order of symptoms. According to this method, the symptoms should be arranged in the following hierarchy: causative modalities, which include emotional, intellectual, and physical; general aggravation, in emotional, intellectual, and physical; general amelioration, which is the same; physical generals, sensation and complaints; concomitants, mentals for reference and differentiation. Now, finally, let us look into the advantages and disadvantages of TPB. Advantages or the special features. It is useful at the bedside and in the study of homeopathic materia medica. The repertory is based on the principles of complete symptom and concomitants. This makes it easy for the practitioners to find rubrics. It contains an additional chapter, Relationship of Remedies. The chapter is unique and it helps to find all the related remedies of a case. The information included in TPB are derived mainly from Hahnemann's work and also verified by Bonninghausen in clinical practice. This makes the repertory very authentic and useful. The sensations and modalities chapter contains several useful rubrics which can be related to various parts as well as to the whole person. This unique arrangement is only found in TPB. The repertory has 5 different typographies. The repertory contains mental rubrics at 2 places, mind and modalities. Though not all but some chapters contain details of concomitants separately given towards the end of the chapter. The adaptability of this repertory makes it very special for practitioners. Being one of the initial repertories, it contains a relatively systematic arrangement and detailed information. This unique work become the progenitor of all features and more useful repertories. Now, lastly, let's look into the disadvantages or the criticism. First, number of medicines. Originally, the TPB had only 126 remedies, but Allen, who edited this book, dropped out the 4 old medicines and added 220 new remedies. Hence, the total number of remedies came to 342. Even after the Roberts edition, the book deals with only 342 remedies, which falls short of various pictures available in practice. Number of rubrics. Book contains a limited number of rubrics which cannot be used for many symptoms. Rubrics in medicines. We find many rubrics which do not contain well-known and important medicines. Some of the medicines are repeated often and given undue importance in the book. Mind section. We find that the mind section is not well represented in the book. There are only 18 rubrics under mind and 17 under intellect section. These rubrics are too general and cannot be used for any purpose other than for reference. Concomitants of mental symptoms. A group of medicines appears under this heading, which is not very useful in practice. Concomitants. Though prime importance is given to concomitants in this method, a chapter on concomitants is not given separately. Defect in construction and complication. This book has undergone many modifications and additions. The book could not get his best attention and several lapses remained. Example, internal head ends on page 26, again starts on page 29. External head ends on page 29, begins again on page 30. The book is based on philosophy of complete symptoms, but the book also does not strictly follow this principle in construction. There is no fixed order in arrangement of rubrics. Relationship section is well arranged and explained, but here only 141 remedies appear. Many rubrics are misplaced in the book. Example, vertigo is given under mind, intellect, parotid glands under ear. There are a number of similar rubrics under different heading found in the book. Example, burns sensation, burns aggravation. Different types of sensation are mentioned specifically in the book, but in practice, majority of patients do not specify the sensation. This book contains this book contain lacks of lack in this book lacks information about sarcodes and nosodes. So with this guys, we have covered the TPB in short. Some important points which you need to remember for your examinations and write it. Some important headings which will help you make and form your answers in exam properly. And to remember this video and to remember this answer, I would like to say that if you watch this video at least 3 times and a week before your examinations, it will help you fetch good marks. And I am sure that this method of reading and audio visual reading or a type of audiobook, you can say it because I haven't explained it much, is very helpful in remembering the data at large. And if you remember and read again and again while watching and simultaneously with your earplugs in, I'm sure that this video will help you fetch good marks and remember the answer at a large in your exams, and you'll be able to produce the answer properly. So with this said, we have covered, guys, TPB in short under 15 minutes. And the next repertory which we'll be covering is in our section, here we go, the bogus synoptic key. So I end this video on this note that we have covered the Kent repertory, BBCI repertory, and the TPB now. If you haven't watched the previous two video, I would like to say that please go and watch that videos first and make this in a continuation series of repertories to be learned. Okay, so with that I end this video. Goodbye, take care, thank you.